July is flying by, it's going way too fast. And you know what that means? August is coming, and so is the preseason. On the 7th, we're going head-to-head with the Bengals, and I'm confident we're coming out on top. If you agree with me, smash that like button. The Philadelphia Eagles are heading into the 2025 NFL season with their eyes locked on defending their Super Bowl title, and they might be catching a massive break right out of the gate. Week 1, Thursday Night Football, Lincoln Financial Field, September 4th, Eagles versus Cowboys. What's already one of the fiercest rivalries in sports could now set the tone for the entire season. This isn't just another game. It's banner night. The Eagles will raise their second Super Bowl championship flag in front of a national audience and, more deliciously, in front of Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys. The timing couldn't be more perfect, especially when you start unpacking how Dallas is shaping up heading into this matchup. Last season, the Cowboys crumbled to a 7-10 finish. That collapse cost Mike McCarthy his job, and now the man leading them is Ryan Schottenheimer. An internal hire, sure, but a puzzling one. He was the offensive coordinator under McCarthy and didn't even call plays. Whenever he has called plays at the NFL level, the results have been underwhelming, basic, predictable, and flat. And now he's the head coach of America's so-called team. Not only is he one of the lowest-paid head coaches in the NFL, but he's also entering the year as arguably one of the league's most questionable hires. If things go south again in 2025, he could easily be one and done. That alone gives the Eagles a mental edge, but the on-field matchups paint an even more encouraging picture. Let's talk about the Dallas offense. They're still rolling with Dak Prescott at quarterback. Last year, even when healthy, Dak was a liability. He went 3-5 in the games he started and tossed 8 interceptions in 8 games. He's coming off a torn hamstring and hasn't shown anything resembling his best self since before that injury. Sure, Dallas went out and got George Pickens, and while that's a nice addition to pair alongside CeeDee Lamb, it doesn't change the fact that their wide receiver room overall is very average. Add in a running back group that's arguably one of the worst in the entire NFL, and things begin to unravel fast. Javonte Williams is their lead back now, and while Cowboys fans may be clinging to what he showed early in his Broncos career, the truth is painful. He was statistically one of the worst running backs in the league last year. Behind the league's top-rated offensive line in Denver, he ranked 45th of 47 in rushing yards over expected, 46th in yards after contact per rush, and dead last in longest rush by a starting back. Then there's Miles Sanders, an Eagles fan favorite in 2022, who cashed in with Carolina, only to disappear completely last season. He was a shell of himself, which is exactly what Dallas prepares as
Jaden Blue, another name in the RB room, is fast but unproven. Dallas may be applauding itself for its financial savvy in building this backfield, but what it really did was piece together a group that lacks proven production and consistency. And as if that wasn't enough, the Cowboys' offensive line, a historic staple of strength for this franchise, was a mess last year and returns 4 out of 5 starters. That continuity might sound good on paper, but when that unit finished near the bottom of the league in offensive holding penalties, false starts, and pass protection metrics, running it back doesn't inspire confidence. They were bottom 5 in yards before contact per rush and couldn't create space or protect consistently. That's great news for an Eagles defensive line that remains one of the most dominant units in the NFL. Looking at how both teams match up, it's not hard to see where the Eagles have the upper hand. Offensively, they're bringing back 10 of 11 starters. That kind of synergy gives them a clear advantage over a Cowboys defense that's not only struggling with the same personnel as last season, but also adjusting to a new coordinator in Matt Eberflus. The Cowboys are going to be learning on the fly with Eberflus schemes and tendencies, and that learning curve could be exploited heavily by an Eagles offense already firing on all cylinders. On the defensive side, the Eagles should dominate the trenches. The Cowboys' inability to run the football and protect their quarterback last year was glaring. Their rushing attack ranked near the bottom of the league in almost every meaningful stat: yards per carry, explosive run rate, success rate, you name it. Through the first 9 weeks of the 2024 season, they didn't have a single run over 15 yards. That's not a fluke, that's a problem. And then there's the turnover issue. Under Dan Quinn from 2021 to 2023, Dallas thrived on creating havoc. They led the league in expected points added from defensive turnovers by a wide margin. But Warren Sharp's analytics already predicted a steep regression. He studied every team over the last 30 years with 3 straight years of a +10 turnover margin, and all of them saw a drop-off in year 4. Dallas followed that script to the letter last season, losing the turnover battle in 9 games and going 1-8 in those contests. Now Quinn is gone, and there's no reason to believe that kind of turnover production is coming back. It all adds up to a scenario where Philadelphia may be in a perfect position to take advantage. While the Eagles do face one of the league's toughest schedules early on, a convincing win in Week 1 would provide momentum and a crucial cushion heading into a brutal stretch. After Dallas, the Eagles face Kansas City in a Super Bowl rematch, the Rams on the road, a trip to Tampa, and then a matchup against a reloaded Broncos squad. Starting off 1-0 could make all the difference. So Eagles fans, what do you think? Are we about to witness an early season statement win against the Cowboys? Is this game setting up to be a decisive advantage for the Birds? Let me know what you think down below, because there's even more reason to believe that Week 1 is lining up as a golden opportunity for the Eagles. While Philadelphia comes into this game as the reigning Super Bowl champions with a rock-solid roster and coaching continuity, Dallas enters the season surrounded by question marks. One of the biggest issues? Their schedule, both early and late, is brutal. The Cowboys may have finished third in the NFC East last season, but don't let that fool you into thinking they have an easy road ahead. Based on projected win totals of their opponents, Dallas faces the 11th hardest schedule in the NFL. When factoring in schedule efficiency, it jumps to the 7th hardest, according to Warren Sharp's metrics. The pressure ramps up exponentially for Dallas starting in Week 12. Just look at this gauntlet: Eagles, 14-3, Chiefs, 15-2, Lions, 15-2, Vikings, 14-3, Commanders, 12-5, and Chargers, 11-6. Every single one of those teams made the playoffs. That late season collapse that Cowboys fans dread? The odds of it happening again this year are very real. If Dallas stumbles out of the gate in Week 1, the season could spiral quickly. And how about the intangibles? The vibes, the atmosphere. Thursday night in South Philly, Lincoln Financial Field will be buzzing. This is a fan base that's been waiting all offseason to celebrate that Super Bowl victory, and they're going to do it in front of their most hated rival. Banners will rise, drinks will be flowing, and the Birds will take the field with the city fully behind them. It's more than just a football game, it's a moment, and that energy has a real impact. Let's go back to Dak Prescott for a second. 9 years in the NFC, not one appearance in the NFC Championship game. For all the hype that's surrounded him since taking over in Dallas, he's never been able to deliver in the postseason. He's never been able to lift this team when it mattered most. That weight doesn't just disappear in a new season. It lingers, and it will be hanging over him when he takes the field in Week 1, especially with questions about his mobility following that hamstring tear. And while we're on quarterbacks, the Eagles enter this season with supreme confidence in their guy. Jalen Hurts isn't just a leader on the field, he's the heartbeat of this team. His growth year after year has been nothing short of remarkable. Last season, he silenced every remaining doubt by leading this team to a title. He's locked in, surrounded by weapons, and protected by one of the league's top offensive lines. And you better believe he remembers that ugly loss to Dallas the last time they met. He's going to want to make a statement. The synergy on the Eagles' offense is something that can't be overstated. When you return nearly your entire starting unit, the rhythm is already there. The timing, the trust, the communication, those things take months for most teams to develop. For the Eagles, it's already built in. On the flip side, the Cowboys' defense, with new coordinator Matt Eberflus at the helm,